Welcome to the Bible Quiz. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and enriching books of the Old Testament, the book of 2 Chronicles. Get ready to explore the epic tales of kings, prophets, and divine interventions that shape the history of Judah. We've meticulously selected 25 challenging questions to test your knowledge and enhance your understanding of these sacred stories. But hold on. Before we dive into the quiz, make sure you hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Your support helps us spread the wisdom of the Bible far and wide. Are you ready to prove just how well you know the triumphs, trials, and teachings from the book of 2 Chronicles? Let's get started. Question 1. Which king became leprous? A. Josiah. B. Uzziah. C. Solomon. D. Hezekiah. You get 10 seconds. That's B. Uzziah, also known as Azariah, became leprous after he arrogantly entered the temple to burn incense, a duty reserved for the priests. 2 Chronicles chapter 26 verses 16 to 21. Despite being a successful and powerful king, Uzziah's pride led to his downfall, and he spent the rest of his life isolated because of his disease, serving as a reminder of the consequences of disobedience to God. Question 2. Which king of Judah reigned the longest? A. Asa. B. Josiah. C. Uzziah. D. Manasseh. You get 10 seconds. That's D. Manasseh. King Manasseh reigned the longest among the kings of Judah, ruling for 55 years. 2 Chronicles chapter 33, verse 1. Despite beginning his reign with significant idolatry and evil practices, Manasseh later repented after being taken captive by the Assyrians. His long reign serves as a narrative of both profound sin and eventual repentance and redemption. Question 3. Which king had a disease of the feet? A. Asa. B. Manasseh. C. Rehoboam. D. Jehoshaphat. You get 10 seconds. That's A. Asa. Instead of seeking help from the Lord, Asa relied solely on physicians, highlighting his shift away from trusting God towards the end of his reign. His condition and approach serve as a cautionary tale about the importance of maintaining faith in God throughout one's life. 2 Chronicles chapter 16, verse 12. Question 4. Who succeeded King David and built the temple in Jerusalem? A. Asa. B. Solomon. C. Rehoboam. D. Jehoshaphat. You get 10 seconds. That's B. Solomon. Solomon's reign is marked by great wisdom, wealth, and the construction of the temple, which became the central place of worship for the Israelites and symbolized God's presence among his people. 2 Chronicles chapters 2 to 7. His wisdom attracted leaders worldwide, while his wealth led to Israel's prosperity. The temple served as a religious center and a symbol of God's covenant, consolidating the nation's spiritual and cultural identity. Question 5. Who visited Solomon to test his wisdom with hard questions? A. Queen of Egypt. B. Queen of Persia. C. Queen of Sheba. D. Queen of Babylon. You get 10 seconds. That's C. Queen of Sheba. She was amazed by Solomon's wisdom and the prosperity of his kingdom, affirming that his reputation for great wisdom and understanding was well-deserved. The visit highlighted Solomon's international fame and the fulfillment of God's promise to grant him unparalleled wisdom. 2 Chronicles chapter 9, verses 1 to 12. Dear friends, don't forget to hit subscribe to stay connected and never miss our next quizzes. Question 6. Which king's reign marked the division of Israel into two kingdoms? A. Asa. B. Josiah. C. Hezekiah. D. Rehoboam. You get 10 seconds. That's D. Rehoboam. After Solomon's death, Rehoboam ascended to the throne and faced demands from the northern tribes for lighter labor and tax burdens. Rehoboam's decision to respond harshly led to the secession of the northern tribes, who then formed the kingdom of Israel under Jeroboam, while Rehoboam continued to rule over the kingdom of Judah. 2 Chronicles chapter 10, verses 1 to 19. Question 7. Who led the kingdom of Judah in a major religious reform by removing idols? A. Hezekiah. B. Rehoboam. C. Manasseh. D. Jehoshaphat. You get 10 seconds. That's A. Hezekiah. Hezekiah's reforms included restoring the temple, re-establishing proper worship, and removing high places, sacred stones, and Asherah poles. 2 Chronicles, chapters 29 to 31. He aimed to return Judah to true worship and reinstituted the Passover. His commitment to these reforms led to a spiritual renewal in Judah, aligning the kingdom more closely with God's laws. Question 8. Who was the high priest who hid Josh in the temple for 6 years? A. Zadok. B. Azariah. C. Abiathar. D. Jehoiada. You get 10 seconds. That's D. Jehoiada. After Athaliah seized the throne and sought to destroy the royal family, Jehoiada and his wife Jehosheba protected the infant Josh. When Josh turned 7, Jehoiada orchestrated a coup to overthrow Athaliah and place Josh on the throne, preserving the Davidic line. 2 Chronicles chapter 22, verses 10 to 12. Question 9. Which king of Judah prayed for deliverance from the Assyrian army? A. Asa. B. Josiah. C. Hezekiah. D. Jehoshaphat. You get 10 seconds. That's C, Hezekiah. King Hezekiah's unwavering faith and reliance on God prompted a miraculous intervention as an angel struck down the Assyrian forces, securing Judah's safety and demonstrating the power of divine protection. 2 Chronicles chapter 32, verses 20 to 22. Facing a dire siege, Hezekiah's prayer and trust in God's deliverance led to a remarkable victory, underscoring the importance of faith and God's ability to protect his people against overwhelming odds. Question 10. Which king of Judah was struck by God and died from his illness? A. Josiah. B. Jehoram. C. Ahaziah. D. Manasseh. You get 10 seconds. That's B. Jehoram. King Jehoram was struck by God and died from a severe illness as punishment for his wickedness and idolatry. 2 Chronicles chapter 21, verses 18 to 19. His reign was characterized by evil deeds, leading to divine retribution and a painful death, serving as a stark reminder of the consequences of turning away from God. Question 11. Which king was taken to Babylon in chains? A. Manasseh. B. Jehoiachin. C. Zedekiah. D. Jehoiakim. You get 10 seconds. That's A. Manasseh. King Manasseh was taken to Babylon in chains by the Assyrians as punishment for his sins. 2 Chronicles chapter 33, verse 11. During his captivity, he experienced a profound transformation, repented, and was eventually restored to his throne in Judah, symbolizing God's boundless mercy and the possibility of redemption even for the most wayward. Question 12. Who was the king of Judah when the Babylonians captured Jerusalem? A. Zedekiah. B. Jehoiakim. C. Manasseh. D. Jehoiachin. You get 10 seconds. That's A. Zedekiah. His rebellion against Babylonian rule provoked a siege, leading to the city's fall and the temple's destruction. This catastrophic event marked the start of the Babylonian exile, symbolizing the consequences of forsaking God's covenant and the end of Judah's monarchy. 2 Chronicles chapter 36, verses 11 to 20. Question 13. Which king of Judah reigned at the age of 8 and initiated major religious reforms? A. Joash. B. Josiah. C. Hezekiah. D. Manasseh. You get 10 seconds. That's B. Josiah. King Josiah began his reign at the age of 8 and initiated significant religious reforms. 2 Chronicles chapter 34, verses 1 to 33. He restored the temple, rediscovered the book of the law, and led the nation in a covenant renewal with God, eradicating idolatry and reinstating proper worship practices. Question 14. Who prayed to God and received 15 more years of life? A. Asa. B. Josiah. C. Uzziah. D. Hezekiah. You get 10 seconds. That's D. Hezekiah. King Hezekiah prayed to God when he was gravely ill, and God granted him 15 more years of life. 2 Chronicles chapter 32, verse 24. His heartfelt prayer and faith in God's power resulted in miraculous healing, underscoring God's responsiveness to sincere and fervent prayers. Question 15. Who was the wicked queen who tried to destroy the royal family of Judah? A. Michal. B. Jezebel. C. Athaliah. D. Makkah. You get 10 seconds. That's C. Athaliah. Queen Athaliah tried to destroy the entire royal family of Judah to seize the throne. 2 Chronicles chapter 22, verses 10 to 12. Her ruthless attempt was thwarted when Jehoiada the high priest hid the young Joash in the temple. Athaliah's actions epitomize the dangers of power seized through treachery and violence. Question 16. Who rebuilt the altars of Baal and made Asherah poles, but later repented? A. Asa. B. Manasseh. C. Rehoboam. D. Jehoshaphat. You get 10 seconds. That's B. Manasseh. King Manasseh rebuilt the altars of Baal and made Asherah poles, leading Judah into deep idolatry, but later repented during his captivity in Babylon. 2 Chronicles chapter 33, verses 1 to 20. His repentance and subsequent restoration to the throne highlight God's mercy and the possibility of redemption, even for those who have deeply strayed. Question 17. Which king of Judah removed his mother from being queen mother because she made an idol? A. Asa. B. Joash. C. Josiah. D. Jehoshaphat. You get 10 seconds. That's A. Asa. King Asa removed his mother, Makkah, from being queen mother because she had made an obscene idol. 2 Chronicles chapter 15, verse 16. His decisive action in removing her idol and deposing her emphasized his commitment to purging idolatry from Judah and upholding the worship of the true God. Question 18. Which king of Judah reigned for only 3 months before being taken to Babylon? A. Amon. B. Ahaziah. C. Jehoiakim. D. Jehoiachin. You get 10 seconds. That's D. Jehoiachin. His surrender to Nebuchadnezzar marked a pivotal moment in Judah's downfall, symbolizing the loss of autonomy and the start of the Babylonian exile. 2 Chronicles chapter 36, verses 9 to 10. This event highlighted the consequences of persistent disobedience to God and foreshadowed the eventual destruction of Jerusalem and the temple. Question 19. Which king of Judah did right in the eyes of the Lord but did not remove the high places? A. Asa. B. Joash. C. Amaziah. D. Jehoshaphat. You get 10 seconds. That's C. Amaziah. Although he generally followed God's commandments, his failure to eliminate these sites of idol worship meant that the people continued to sacrifice and burn incense there, indicating partial obedience. 2 Chronicles chapter 25, verses 1 to 2. Question 20. On whose forehead did leprosy break out while he was in the house of the Lord? A. Gehazi. B. Uzziah. C. Naaman. D. Hezekiah. You get 10 seconds. That's B. Uzziah. King Uzziah's forehead broke out in leprosy while he was in the house of the Lord, attempting to burn incense on the altar. 2 Chronicles chapter 26, verses 16 to 21. His presumptuous act, reserved only for priests, led to immediate divine punishment, and he lived the rest of his life in isolation as a leper, reflecting the severe consequences of pride and disobedience. Stay with us until the end of the video to see how many Bible quiz questions you got right. Don't forget to note your score and share it with us in the comments section. Let's explore and learn more about the Bible with these fun and interesting questions. Question 21. Which king of Judah was murdered by his servants? A. Joash. B. Uzziah. C. Amaziah. D. Jehoiada. You get 10 seconds. That's A. Joash. King Joash was murdered by his servants. 2 Chronicles chapter 24, verses 25 to 26. Despite starting his reign with religious reforms guided by Jehoiada the priest, Joash later turned away from God, leading to his assassination by his officials as retribution for his betrayal and unjust actions. Question 22. Who was the prophet who rebuked King Asa for relying on the king of Aram instead of the Lord? A. Isaiah. B. Hanani. C. Micaiah. D. Jeremiah. You get 10 seconds. That's B. Hanani. The prophet Hanani rebuked King Asa for relying on the king of Aram instead of the Lord. 2 Chronicles chapter 16, verses 7 to 9. Hanani condemned Asa's lack of faith and warned of future wars as a consequence of not trusting in God's deliverance, highlighting the importance of reliance on divine power over human alliances. Question 23. Which king ordered the Levites to bring the Ark of the Covenant to the temple? A. Josiah. B. Hezekiah. C. Solomon. D. Rehoboam. You get 10 seconds. That's C. Solomon. King Solomon ordered the Levites to bring the Ark of the Covenant to the newly built temple in Jerusalem. This event marked the dedication of the temple, symbolizing God's dwelling among His people and the centralization of worship, underscoring the importance of the temple as the heart of Israelite religious life. 2 Chronicles chapter 5, verses 2 to 5. Question 24. Which king of Judah mercenaries from Israel but later dismissed them after a prophet's rebuke? A. Asa. B. Joash. C. Hanani. D. Amaziah. You get 10 seconds. That's D. Amaziah. King Amaziah hired 100,000 mercenaries from Israel to bolster his army, but a prophet rebuked him, warning that God was not with Israel and relying on them would bring defeat. 2 Chronicles chapter 25, verses 6 to 10. Despite the financial loss and anger of the mercenaries, Amaziah dismissed them, prioritizing spiritual obedience over military strength, underscoring the importance of faith and reliance on God's protection for true success. Question 25. Who repaired the altar of the Lord and called the people to sacrifice upon it? A. Asa. B. Joash. C. Jehoiada. D. Hezekiah. You get 10 seconds. That's C. Jehoiada. High priest Jehoiada played a pivotal role in restoring true worship in Judah by repairing the altar of the Lord and leading the people in sacrifices. His actions re-established the covenant with God after the idolatrous reign of Queen Athaliah, renewing the nation's commitment to God's laws and worship. 2 Chronicles chapter 23, verses 16 to 18. Fantastic! What an incredible journey we've taken through the Old Testament, delving into the rich narratives of the book of 2 Chronicles. If you enjoyed the quiz, give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family. Let's invite them to join us on this enlightening biblical adventure. And don't forget to click that subscribe button for more quizzes and profound biblical insights. We truly value your feedback, so please share your score, any questions or suggestions for future quizzes in the comments below. Thank you for joining us today, and may your spiritual journey be filled with blessings and growth. Stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next video.